What's going on, guys? Billy here, and this week is DJI Airworks. It's a conference that DJI puts on for the commercial drone industry. I so wanted to be there. I had the opportunity to go, but as a senior in college, these are my last 2 semesters. I really just couldn't stomach missing a full week of school. The conference is on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'd probably have to take like Monday and Friday to travel, and to miss a full week of school just really would put me behind. So I've been following DJI's live tweets. I've seen that they've released 2 new drones. Actually, the T16 was released before Airworks, but it was talked about on the first day during the keynotes. Also, we got to see the brand new P4 Multispectral. So in this video, what I want to do is go over both of these drones, talk a little bit about them. This is going to be more of an informal video. Usually I sit down and try to script out my videos, but I'm going to be looking off of my iPad here. So I've got some notes I want to talk about. And I think that both of these drones are really going to push the drone agriculture industry forward in a way that we haven't seen before. So my background with drone agriculture work, I guess you could say, has been about a year. I've been doing some plant health scans for a farm up in Connecticut. Specifically, they're growing hemp, and this is a research and development farm. So you'll notice these plant health scans really don't look the best. And the reason behind this is because they're trying different growing methods throughout the field. You'll notice that a lot of the plants sporadically grown are green, but most of the areas where plants didn't grow or where there's dirt is obviously red or yellow. For those of you that might be wondering, those plant health scans that I put up on the screen were made with just a typical standard run-of-the-mill Mavic 2 Pro using the built-in RGB camera with the RGB sensor. I then turned to Drone Deploy to stitch together all of the photos, and when I was looking at the plant health map, I was using the Very Index or the Very algorithm to make use of those RGB photos to then give me the plant health. Now, I know that there's definitely better options out there to use. I could have used my Inspire 2, I could have used my Phantom 4 Pro, but I turned to the Mavic 2 Pro because it was very simple and easy to set up. When I lowered the altitude and I lowered the speed, and not having a mechanical shutter really didn't hurt me in any way. The photos still came out looking great. The map came out stitching properly and everything was accurately displayed. But I always knew I had to move on. I had to get something that was geared towards agriculture specifically. And every single time I looked around on the market, I found these third-party options that attached to a bunch of different drones. So you could find different cameras that would mount onto the Phantom 4. You could find different cameras that mounted onto the Inspire 2. In fact, I actually found some cameras like the Zen Muse X4S that are modified to capture near-infrared photos. But every single time I was looking, they all just didn't seem to be a good option. Like there was always some sort of hoop I had to jump through, whether it was third-party software or a third-party camera. But fast forward to today, I guess maybe 2 days ago at this point, DJI has released the P4 Multispectral. So I want to go over that drone first, and then once we cover why that drone is so badass, we'll then get into the T16, which in my opinion takes the crown as the most badass agriculture drone I've probably ever seen. So the P4 Multispectral is based off of the Phantom 4 airframe, and I would say that it most resembles the Phantom 4 RTK because it's got the little dome up on top. Yes, I'm just going to refer to this thing as a little dome. It's the area where the RTK module is housed, but there are some other important features and things to note about this drone. First of all, it comes with the OcuSync 2.0 transmission system, so if you've got a very large field that needs to be mapped, you're not going to have to worry about the drone losing signal or faltering to any sort of interference if you get further away from the remote controller. Also, it comes with an estimated flight time of 27 minutes. This is 3 minutes less than what the stock Phantom 4 Pro offers, and I would say that that's just because it's carrying a heavier payload. That gimbal is definitely going to be carrying a heavier camera because it's got 6 cameras on board. Also, it's got that little dome up on top. And the final thing I want to note is that you cannot fly this drone in sport mode. You can only fly in position mode and ADI mode. So you're not going to be able to whip your Phantom 4 Multispectral up and down your fields. Now, there are 2 main reasons why this drone is so important for agriculture and what really sets it apart from anything else on the market. And that is the integrated spectral sunlight sensor on top of the drone, as well as the multispectral camera underneath. So I'm going to read this right off of DJI's site so I don't mess anything up. An integrated spectral sunlight sensor on top of the drone captures solar irradiance, which maximizes accuracy and consistency of data collection through different times of day. When combined with post-processed data, this information helps to obtain the most accurate NDVI results. I don't know of any other drone that has one of these built in, especially one that's built for agriculture. Again, usually you've got to go out and buy like a separate third-party camera, slap it on the side of your drone. It's not communicating with one system, but now that it's got the multispectral camera as well as this sunlight sensor up on top, it's really going to give you the most accurate data. And this right here is going to be the gold standard for crop scouting with drones. Now moving on to that multispectral camera, it's rocking 6 cameras with 6 different sensors. So there's one RGB sensor that's just going to take regular color images for you, but we've also got 5 separate cameras to cover the blue, green, red edge, and near infrared bands of light. All these photos are being taken at 2 megapixels, and they all also have a global shutter, which is great for mapping. But I am worried about the resolution of those images. 2 megapixels is very low, and for all the other bands of light like near infrared, green, blue, red, whatever, all of those, that's going to be fine. But if you want a really high resolution color map of your field, you might need to turn to like a Phantom 4 or maybe even a Phantom 4 RTK if you want to still get that precision. But I've been using the Mavic 2 Pro. I'm used to having a really high resolution map, and I'm looking here at the specs of this camera, and it looks like the maximum image size is going to be 1600 pixels by 1300 pixels. That is just very low for my liking. Now, the good thing about this drone is the ecosystem, the way that everything works together, because you have a drone with a multispectral camera built in as well as that sunlight sensor up on top. Everything is working in conjunction with each other. You don't have to use a separate app. You can use the DJI Ground Station Pro app in order to plan your mission and to capture your photos, and right there, through your application, you're able to see a live NDVI image. You don't have to use a third-party app. You don't have to use any third-party software. Everything is right there for you. It's capturing all the data at the same time. DJI calls this time sync. So at the same time, 6 photos are being captured. You're getting a live view of either the color or the NDVI image, and you're also capturing that sunlight data from the sensor on the top. It's just incredible. Again, as I said, this is going to be the gold standard for crop scouting with drones. All right, so now I want to jump into the Agras T16. This is DJI's brand new flagship agriculture spraying drone that's built to spray pesticides across farmers' fields. And this is done in a safe, efficient, and effective manner. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I've got a ton of experience operating or piloting these spraying drones, because at the end of the day, I've got zero. I've never flown one, but I hope that with all the research I've done, I can help you guys understand why the T16 is such an upgrade over the Agras MG1 series. Now, first of all, it's a brand new design from the ground up. It's much more compact. I'm putting air quotes around compact because while it's smaller, it's not as small as like a Mavic 2 or maybe an Inspire 2, even at that. It's a very large drone, but it folds up and it's easy for storing if you need to transport it or just need to store it inside of the shed because you're done working with it for the day. Now, there are some things that we see on this Agras T16 that came over from the MG1 series, things like the FPV camera on the front. We also get the ability to control multiple drones at once with one single remote controller. So we can go and deploy up to 2 or even 4 different drones to cover one field to just get the job done faster. And that's all done with one single remote controller. Also, of course, we get dual IMUs, dual barometers. We also get GNSS and RTK dual redundancy, but there are a few differences besides the design. So first of all is IP67 water resistant. So now you can spray this drone down if you have to after you do a long day of spraying. You can clean the nozzles, you can clean all the components without having to worry about the drone obviously short circuiting because you get water inside of the components. Now we also get an upgrade to the tank size, the nozzles, as well as the battery. So the tank is now going from 10 liters to 16 liters, and this allows you to cover 10 hectares rather than 6 hectares, which is definitely a big difference. Now, in terms of those nozzles, we get an upgraded spray width from 4.5 meters to 6.5 meters, and also the spray rate jumps up from 2.4 liters per minute to 4.8 liters per minute. Something that was briefly touched on in the product video for the T16 is the way that you can create a 3D map with your Phantom 4 RTK, and then using that map and that information, the drone will know when it should and shouldn't spray on certain trees and certain plants using artificial intelligence. and that just blows my mind. There's just an incredible amount of technology packed into this drone. There's things that DJI didn't even spend a lot of time touching on that just blow me away. Now, about these battery packs, actually, I should take a step back. They're more like battery briefcases. They're entirely enclosed in metal. They've got a full metal housing. They also are IP54 rated, and they hold 17,500 milliamp hours. Now, if you take a look at the product video for the Agras T16, the size of these batteries are just insane, and they're charged off of this big generator looking charger. It's a 2600 watt 4-channel intelligent battery charger, and if you charge one battery at a time, you can fully charge it from 0 to 100% in 20 minutes, which is incredibly fast. I don't know how long these batteries are going to last you in terms of lifespan, because if you're charging that fast, it's definitely going to do some damage to the battery. But I could totally see in the future, if you only have 2 batteries, you can continue to flip-flop them. Now, I don't know how long it'll take to fully cool down, so you might be better off with like a set of 4 or 5 batteries, but nonetheless, you can charge these batteries insanely fast with the generator looking charger. Now look, the name of the game with DJI and these spraying drones is continuing to make them more autonomous as well as more efficient. They want to totally take the pilot out of it and just allow the person to sit there and monitor the drone and make sure everything is going well. And that's pretty much been perfectly nailed by them already with the sensors, the radar, as well as the software they have. But efficiency can always be improved. Larger tanks, larger batteries, increased spray width, increased spray rate, so the liters per minute. I mean, look, both of these drones that DJI released really have pushed the agriculture drone industry forward, and I cannot wait to see where this industry goes in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because we've got some great offerings right now, and I don't even know how they could get better. Now, in the future, I definitely am looking at getting the P4 multispectral, probably with the RTK2 ground station, whatever it's called. Again, I've got to do some more research on it, but that's definitely something I'm looking at acquiring in order to make better maps for my customers and for my clients. But the T16 is a little bit out of reach. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go out and purchase that for the next season, but spraying drones is definitely something that I'm looking to get into. I just don't think next season I'm gonna be ready to do that. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the T16 as well as the P4 multispectral. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section below. I feel like I've been talking forever, so I'm gonna get going. I'll talk to you later. Peace.